Hi friends, I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Nails, where we talk about vegan and cruelty-free nail polish. Today we're talking about the Color Club Sedona Summer Collection. This collection is 6 matte shades that are supposed to be reminiscent of natural beauty or something like that. These are new from Color Club for summer 2019. I actually have not seen them on the Color Club website as of filming today. I'm filming in the first week of May, but I bought these on headtotoebeauty.com actually like 3 weeks ago, so I will link down below where I bought them from. I'm sure they will be up on the Color Club website somewhat soon, given that they are a summer collection and we are fast approaching summer. So let's dive into swatching these 6 polishes, and I will see you at the end for my favorites. First up is Made in the Shade, and this is a like dusty steel blue gray is kind of what it reminds me of. It has a little bit of brightness to it, but it is definitely super muted, super kind of washed out. This one, the formula was a little bit thick, and so I did feel like I had to kind of manipulate it a little bit on my nail. It didn't self-level super easily. I do think that sometimes matte polishes can be a little bit thick and kind of goopy like this, but this one, as you can see, it's like kind of hard to get it to flow over my nail. The first coat is a little bit streaky and patchy, and so I will definitely need a second coat, but it just doesn't quite level out over my nail. So I think especially if you have any like ridges on your nails or any kind of like peeling that makes your nail not totally even, this one might be really hard to get, you know, a super flat coat on. The color is really nice. I like this color. It's kind of like a very cool blue for summer, and when it dries down to this matte finish, you can see those streaks stand out even more, but it is a really just like soft blue. It's really pretty. So on my second coat here, I am again having that same kind of issue of getting it to level out perfectly, but it is going to dry down to an opaque finish. It's just going to be a little bit bumpy, and so I think if you're going to try and wear this one, and again you have any like ridges or bumps on your nails or even a little bit of peeling like I have right here at the tip of my index finger, you might just want to make sure you're wearing a really thick base coat, or like a ridge filling base coat maybe, because again this one doesn't self-level super well. But you can see the color here. It is this really pretty steel gray. The matte finish is really nice. It's really soft, and so this is 2 coats of Made in the Shade. Next up we have another blue polish, and this one is almost like a grayed out cornflower blue, I think is how I would describe this one. And this one is called You Rock My World, which is a super fun name. I really like that. This one has a little bit of a thinner formula for me, and so it's a little bit easier to get this one to kind of flow over the nail and self-level a little bit better. So this one I do think is just a hair easier to apply than the last one. And the color on this one is a little bit brighter. It's a little bit less kind of that greeny, steely blue. I think cornflower is how I would describe this one. This one, because it is self-leveling a little bit better, my first coat has a couple fewer streaks. It definitely has a few patches. It's not perfect, so I will go in for a second coat, but I did find this one a little bit easier to apply than the one that we just looked at. And you can see on the nails here that have dried all the way down that that matte finish is just really soft. On all of these polishes in this collection, I really like the matte finish. It is just a really nice kind of glaze over the nails, and it evened out a little bit, but I do think when it dries down matte, you can kind of see those patches just a little bit more on the nail. And so on my nails that are dried down, you can see that I really do need the second coat, but the second coat is going on really smoothly. It is kind of going right over any of that peeling that I have here on my index finger that you could see in the last swatch. And so I think 2 coats is plenty for this one. It is a little bit easier to get that second coat to go on than the last polish, and so I really like this one. So again, you're looking at 2 coats of You Rock My World. Next, we're looking at Lookin' Sharp, which is this really pretty, very yellow leaning green polish. This one is a really bright green. It's like really soft, but it has a lot of white in it, which I think gives it just a little bit of punch. And like I said, this one is very yellow leaning, and almost, I think on this first coat, because it's a little bit, you know, sheer, it looks yellow, but when I get it up to that second coat, you are going to see that it is definitely a green polish. In my swatch, you can see it's definitely a green polish. If you know anything about me, you know that I love my green polishes, so I do really enjoy this one. I think it's a really kind of interesting and unique green to have in this collection. I also think the formula on this one is closer to the second polish that we looked at, so closer to You Rock My World, where, you know, it is self-leveling a little bit better. It's not quite as thick and goopy, and you can see on my first coat a couple like patchy areas that definitely need to get filled in with a second coat. All right, and you're gonna have to forgive me because I forgot to turn my camera on for the first 2 fingers of the second coat. And so here is the second coat of Lookin' Sharp, and you can see it's going on really smoothly. On the 2 nails that I already did, you can see that they totally covered up the kind of patchiness that I was having on my first coat. And so you are looking at 2 coats of Lookin' Sharp. All right, the next 3 polishes in this collection are neutral polishes. This one is Red Rock Crossing. This one is probably the furthest from a neutral of the next 3. It is this really pretty kind of orangey terracotta-y color, and this is just a color that I absolutely love to wear in the summer. I feel like I should maybe do a video on all the polishes that I have in this kind of color family because I have like way more than are necessary. This is one that I absolutely love to wear, and I think it's really fun to have it in a matte finish now because I definitely don't have one quite like this. So Red Rock Crossing has an even thinner formula than some of the other polishes that we looked at, which in this case I would say is a good thing. I think it makes it self-level over the nail really easily. This one feels much closer to a kind of standard cream formula that I'm used to working with, and so this one I'm having no problem getting it to self-level all over my nail. You can see on the nails that are dried down matte here that it does have this really nice soft finish. It also looks really good on the paper beneath my fingernail. Oops. And on a second coat, this one is getting pretty opaque. I have a little bit of kind of patchiness, but I think that when it dries down, it will level itself out and it will be okay. I don't have any visible nail line. I just have kind of some patches that didn't fill all the way in. And so I'm really enjoying the finish on this one. It just looks like super classy matte, and I really, really love this color. And so this is 2 coats of Red Rock Crossing. Next up is Natural Wonder, and Natural Wonder is this like super muted pink color. I think in the bottle it looks more like a kind of tan cream color, but on the nail it is a little bit of a like super muted pink. I would call this one a nude or neutral polish. I do think this one has, again, one of these thinner formulas that most of the polishes in this collection have, and I really, really enjoyed applying this. I do feel like the color is not like super unique. I mean, it's nice that it's matte, but I definitely have other polishes in my collection that are similar to this, so this one didn't kind of jump to the top of my list, but it's easy to apply. It's really nice and smooth. I am getting a little bit of patchiness on this first coat for sure, and so I will definitely go in for a second coat, and honestly, I think I might need a third coat, especially seeing how this looks dried down like this. You can just see those patches like really stick out on this, and so we'll see. I might need a third coat. The second coat is getting me like pretty close to opacity. I think I am having a little bit of patchiness, but you know, under the lights I think it looks fine. Out of the lights it's looking like I might need a third coat depending on how it dries down. But again, this color is super bright. I kind of like this pinky nude, at least on my skin tone for the summer, because it has a little bit of color, but it's almost white. It's like really, really washed out, and so I think it looks really nice in the summer. It's really bright and kind of, I don't know, exciting on the nails, but usually I have it in a glossy finish. So this is 2 coats of Natural Wonder, and it actually looks like we are good to go on 2 coats. All right, the last polish in this collection is I'll Never Desert You, which I think is a phenomenal name. This one is kind of like a muted bubblegum pink. This one is a much brighter pink, much more kind of vibrant and rich pink. This one does have, again, that kind of thicker formula that the first blue that we looked at had. That one was called Made in the Shade. So Made in the Shade and I'll Never Desert You have very similar formulas in my opinion. They're kind of thicker. They don't quite self-level as well. And this one, just like all the others that we've looked at, has a little bit of patchiness on the first coat. So I will definitely be going in for a second coat and seeing how those kind of level out. I do like this one in a matte polish. I think it kind of tones down a little bit as it dries, and so the polish is a little more muted out than it looks, you know, in the bottle on first glance, but you can see I am having a little bit of trouble getting this one to apply evenly. It's a little bit thick, a little bit kind of chalky almost. Again, it's a really nice color, but not the easiest to apply that I've ever worked with. Again, I really like this one in matte though. I mean, like my pinky nail here is so kind of classy and just has a little bit of sheen, but is still pretty, I don't know, pretty matte. So that's 2 coats of I'll Never Desert You. My favorite from this collection kind of surprised me. It was actually Red Rock Crossing, which was this really nice kind of terracotta-y color. I just feel like for a neutral for the summer, this is stunning, and I'm really excited to be able to throw this on in 2 coats. You don't need a top coat, you can just kind of walk out the door with it. These polishes dried pretty quickly for me, which I think is nice in a matte polish. And so I don't know, I really liked this one. I'm really happy to have this one. I actually felt like the greens and the blues in this collection were nice, but they weren't anything I hadn't seen before. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts were on this collection. Are you still into matte finish, or are you somebody who is over that trend? You're moved on to the next thing now? Let me know what you think down below. And as always, if you like this video, consider subscribing so that we can sit down and hang out and chat about nail polish again sometime. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.